Greetings everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about my Kar 98K and the things I'm going to be fixing on it and actually showing you some of those things. It's actually two major problems, the rear sight and the magazine. So let me actually just say first off, this is a 1945 production Kar 98K. It is marked with Ubendorf markings and it's fine. It's a good rifle. It's just the action isn't smooth and the front sight isn't fully zeroed yet, but that's easily fixable. I'm close. It's just this thing has some funk to it. So before I talk about the magazine, let's actually talk about the rear sight. Now the rear sight of a Kar 98K of this vintage of about, the World War II era is supposed to be zeroed at about 100 meters. This was fairly standard. I think the Brits were doing 150 yards, I think, for the Lee Enfields, or at least most of them. The Americans, were doing 100 yards. They were using yards. Still use yards. The rear sight of this is supposed to be about 100 meters. This rear sight is about 300 meters, which is obviously not good. So it means that I'm having to aim really, really low. So let me actually grab a target and show you what I mean. So this is the target, right? Now, these last two shots here, that's pretty close. That is actually, okay. Some people might say, that's zeroed enough. Not for me. But you know how low I have to aim at this? Let me put it up here higher. Hopefully you can see this. I actually have to aim way the hell down. Let me actually get a better shot. So here we have the target, right? Focus, you stupid Scheisskopf. There you go. So, at 100 meter zero, you think, oh, you just basically aim like right here and you'll be hitting the bullseye. Basically, right? With this rifle, I'm having to aim like down here. Yeah, you can see the problem. Now this is with the Yugoslavian surplus that I have. With PPU, it's actually more so I have to aim like here-ish, because it is moving slower, so the point of impact is different. But still, that is a major, major, major issue. Now, what about the action? Well, just listen to it. That is a little rough. Now, the trigger, that's how much take-up it has, but it's a decent trigger. Now, let me actually compare that to my Mauser. Now, some people will say that the Mauser has a horrible action. Listen to this. That is so much smoother. And also the trigger. This rifle is better than my Mauser in every single way, including the fact that the ammunition for this rifle is a lot more available and cheaper. It is also the same for my Type 99. This has a cock on close, which is unfortunate. So I'm just going to run it. And the trigger. Yeah. The action being rough is just the fact that there are still lathe markings on parts of the rifle, including the bolt. So that's nothing I can really fix. However, the magazine, let me actually show you up close. So here is magazine. You can see just how floppy that is. And yeah, that's a problem. If I do it right, I can actually shove the magazine in a way where it doesn't spring back up. That's not good. By the way, I do in fact have the front hood. I'm just zeroing the rifle, so that is really, really not. That's not good. But whatever. I'll dry fire this thing all the time. I don't really care because the firing pin spring, the firing pin on this rifle is thick. Also, it's an ammo problem. The Yugo ammo, sometimes the casings expand so much that it's actually hard to open the bolt. And this thing already has kind of a hard a heavy bolt throw. But sometimes I really have to force it. I also didn't mean to do that again. I'm gonna stop doing that before YouTube gets pissed. I would show the malfunctioning magazine with ammunition, but I do not have dummy rounds for this caliber. So I'm not doing that. I'm not loading live ammo indoors. Are you insane? Even if I took the bolt out, I don't think YouTube would like that too much. Also, I just kind of don't want to do it. Anyway, magazine, I'm just going to buy another one. Same thing with the rear sight. Now, you can see that the rear sight, I hope I get into this in frame, the rear sight is too high. Much too high. The safety on this thing, by the way, works perfectly, which is amazing. So yeah, that's a problem. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be buying an entirely new rear sight. I'm talking the sight ring, the ramp, and the ladder, all in one unit. So that way I can guarantee that the sight that I'll get will actually, first off, fit this rifle better, and second off, be much more flat. Now, I am not going to be completely replacing this the sight ring, because I would have to get an armorer's tool to take off the front sight completely, and I simply can't do that because from what I'm seeing, it's tack welded on, so that's an impossibility for me. And that is sort of unfortunate, but once I'm able to do that, once I have a rear sight for this thing, I will actually, a rear sight for this thing that actually, functions properly and isn't, like, stupid, I will actually be able to do some ammunition testing and get this thing zeroed and actually just enjoy this rifle. These are the only two problems I have with this Mauser. The magazine is a bit funky, and the sight has been a problem. So I have gone through a few rear sights. The original was flat and perfect, but it hit really low, and also the bigger issue, it moved under recoil, and I bet you anything that it was hitting low because of the PPU ammunition. If I got that sight completely fixed and I just adjusted it to 200, 300 meters, it probably would have hit bang on at 50 with PPU ammunition. PPU, they make fine 8 Mauser, but they underload it. It's supposed to be about a 196 grain bullet moving 2,500 feet per second. PPU does 196 grain, or sometimes 198 grain, moving 2,100 feet per second. That is slower than 8x50R Mannlicher. That is a really slow velocity for a full power rifle cartridge. The Romanian is 154 grain light bulb, moving about 2,600 feet per second. So 8 Mauser is supposed to be, about 308, 30-06, 54 rimmed, all these other full power rifle cartridge velocities, just with a big bullet. Some people act like 8 Mauser is this stupendously overpowered cartridge. It isn't really. Stop sucking off 8 Mauser. It's a fine caliber. I like 7 Mauser way more because I've actually shot 7 Mauser rifles, and my God, is that ammo accurate, and my God, does it not kick. But I do like this thing. So you might be asking, then why did you get a Kriegsmodell? Why didn't you? Surely there was a better example there. There was, but this has Nazi eagles on it. So, yeah. Also, unfortunately, as you can probably see, I hope you can see, someone drilled and tapped back here. That's unfortunate. Nothing I can really do about that. But, yeah. This rifle is very crude. I like to think this is sort of a post-apocalyptic rifle. If the wood was in a little bit worse shape, and if the metal was like, really scratched, I would say, just straight up say, oh, this is like a Fallout rifle. But no, this was made under what I would call some mild distress in the Berlin factory. So, or many Berlin factories. It wasn't just one. I don't think it was just one. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing with my Mauser. Also, I still have the thing that goes here, but I need to find another like nail or screw or something that will actually make it fit, because when I took this off first time, it refused to go back on. So yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Luckily, though, eBay has a wide variety of fairly affordable and good parts for Mausers and a bunch of other rifles. If I wanted a dust cover for my Arasaka, I would go there. But I don't really care about getting the dust cover for my Arasaka. But yeah, this is a rough bitch. She's a little rough around the edges right now, but once I get this thing into actually perfect working order, it's not going to be perfect, obviously, but it's going to be very good. The action being a little rough, I don't care. The fact that the firing pin spring is actually kind of heavy is a good thing, so I don't have to really worry about hard primers with surplus. I'm going to be shooting a lot of surplus out of this rifle. Not Turkish or Greek, unless it's good Greek, which I don't think exists. Definitely not Turkish, because, you know, that'll probably break the stock, because it's super overpressured, but definitely Yugoslavian and Romanian, and as well as a few other countries if I can find a Mauser from them. Also a bunch of new modern loads. There is SMB load for 8 Mauser that is 196 grain soft point, moving at 2,700 feet per second. I'd be very interested to shoot some of that stuff. And considering, you know, that the Mauser is the strongest action on the planet, which is bullshit, by the way, it's a safe action, but it's not the strongest. Have you ever heard of the Type 38 chambered in 30-06 that was not rebarreled and it didn't blow up? Yeah, suck it. People discredit Japanese rifles so hard, it's insane. But yeah, I have absolute confidence that this thing would be able to handle that SMB ammo. So, that really spicy hunting ammo. Which would... To say it will kill a deer is an understatement. That thing is going to be obliterated. It's quite the hefty round, moving very quick. Anyway, with all that being said, I love this rifle. I do. But damn, I'm gonna need to do some work on it. But yeah, once I'm able to fix the rear sight is the main issue I'm having with this rifle. The rounds not being in there perfectly, I think only really happens when there are less than 5 rounds in. I don't have clips, so... But when my friend shot this rifle, he loaded 5, and he had no issues with feeding or anything. So maybe it's just I have to load this thing with more ammo than just 2 for zeroing, because that's what I do. I put 2 in, fire it, look through a scope, adjust it accordingly. But this thing is so damn close. It is so close to being zeroed. Oh, and you might be asking, where's the bayonet lug? This is a Kriegsmodell. This is for 1945. They're like, screw the bayonet lug. Screw a cleaning kit. You can take the bolt apart still, and you still have a safety, but screw everything else. Oh, and by the way, we're going to put a Nazi eagle on the front sight. Okay, I cannot get footage of that. At least I don't think so, but there is, in fact, a Nazi eagle. I'll try really hard. Never mind, I'm not going to be able to. Maybe I can find a picture of it in my phone. But yeah, they bothered to put a eagle on the front sight block. Why? Anyway, I'm going to end this episode here. I wish I had some dummies to show you what I'm talking about, but I don't have dummy rounds, and I don't feel like... I don't want to load live ammunition in a rifle, indoors, in town. No. If I lived out in the middle of the country, I'd be taking this thing outside and actually showing you, but I don't. So, anyway, I hope you found this video informative and interesting and all that. So, thank you guys so much for watching.